Hey everyone, it was Q time, now it's A time, and I'm ready to answer some of your questions. The first one we got here is Bunny Berry asked, what role did exercise play in my raw food transition, or transformation I should say? And in the beginning, actually exercise didn't play much of a role. I didn't do too much exercising when I very first got into raw foods. I do sporadic, little mess around with the weights here and there, you know, a little bit of minor aerobics. Then, like about halfway through a raw transition, we got the Wii Fit, and that was fun. Did about a half hour of that every night. So it was a little light cardio. When when I really started to take some shape musculature-wise was after we moved to Connecticut. My sister picked up the P90X exercise system, and so I did that with her, so kind of like motivate each other, and that's what really brought about the guns. So I definitely give props to that. That is a really awesome workout program, and that's what really brought about that. But the weight loss, that seemed to just be from eating the raw foods and just ramping up my metabolism by eating lighter and eating enzyme-rich foods. So I give credit to the raw foods for the weight loss part, so that was pretty awesome. And Bunny also asked, what does a typical raw food day look like for me? And for me right now, it's kind of weird. It's whatever I can, manage to find at the local grocery stores. So some mornings I'll have like bananas, a little bit of almond butter on them. When I can, I'll have a superfood smoothie, a cacao smoothie that I've made when we're stopped at a hotel. I stock up the cooler with a whole bunch of those with ice in little jars. So I got those in green smoothies. So I can have one of those later on in the evening. Usually I'll have romaine or spinach with avocados or kind of a prepackaged but not pasteurized guacamole. And then also some of the awesome raw food bars that have been donated by a lot of our sponsors. And so that's pretty much what my food day looks like while we're on the trek. It's a little out of the normal for me, but it's cool, it works. And Bunny also asked, how do I feel about supplements and superfoods, and what ones really play a role in my raw transformation? And I think a lot of the raw supplements are pretty awesome. My favorite, of course, is cacao, and personally, it works really well for me. It's a nice mild stimulant for me. I like the properties that it has, the antioxidants, and the fact that it helps with your connectivity of your brain and all that good stuff. Love it, and it tastes freaking awesome. It is definitely one of the transitional tools for me that helped me get away from soda and coffee. It kind of made a substitute for caffeine for me, and it gives you that little bitterness flavor to your smoothies. That kind of mocks like Coca-Cola or coffee, the whole Frappuccino thing. So that really helped me out during my transition. And ones that I still use now would be goji berries. I think goji berries are awesome. They taste great. You just blend them up with some water, make yourself like a little goji berry juice, and drink that. I love doing that. And also MSM. I found that that took a while to ease into when I first started messing around with MSM, because I heard all these great things about it loosening up your joint tissue, making you more flexible, reducing aches and pains, oxygenating your blood, awesome stuff, but tasted freaking horrible. It was like someone, brewed up a pot of pennies in water and it's like, here, drink that. Horrible. But the taste does actually grow on you, and I find it works really good. Put like a teaspoon of that in a big glass of water with lemon juice in the morning. I find that when days I do that, I feel really good for the rest of the day. If I start my day off with that, I feel awesome for the rest of the day. I definitely notice the benefits with that stuff. So MSM, I'd say, is a good one. Goji berries, cacao, and a lot of the protein powders we use. Especially since we've been donated some recently, we use hemp protein powder. We use powdered greens mix to make a green ice cream. It's like a mint cacao chip ice cream I like to make when we have access to blending at the hotels. Isabel and Amanda love it too. It's one of our favorites. And I like to put the raw protein powders. It's based on sprouted grains and rice. I like to put that in as the base of our chia pudding, because it makes it really creamy without having to add a ton of raw fats or nut butters to the blend to give it that creaminess, because nuts don't work too well for Amanda. She doesn't feel all that great with them, so I try to cut back when I'm making stuff for all of us to enjoy. And so yeah, those are my faves right now. And let's see what else we got here. And Diane asked, what places on the trek have I especially loved? And I'd have to say, especially loved Seattle. It was freaking awesome. You know, while Amanda was walking, me and Isabel got to go and walk around the city. And, what was the name of that park? I can't think of the name of it. Occidental Park was just absolutely amazing. We went to this garden with this huge waterfall that was like set down, and it's, forget the name of the place, but it was amazing. Isabel loved it. There was huge statues. We just went walking around. People there, super friendly. And also on the way up for the trek, when we stopped at the Badlands, that was freaking amazing. It had to be like one of the most beautiful natural sights that I've ever seen. And then as we were cruising through Badlands, we kept seeing wildlife that we never expected. We were just like, when is this road to get back on the journey? When are we gonna get back to our connecting route to keep going on to Seattle at that point? But every time we'd pass through somewhere, we'd see something different. There was like mountain goats walking alongside the car. There was, and then we got to this area where this van was stopped ahead of us. We're like, what are they doing? What are they looking at? It seemed like an empty field. We finally got up behind them. It was like Prairie Dog City. It was ridiculous. It was like, you know, you see Meerkat Manor, but with prairie dogs. They're everywhere. It was so neat. We had a blast. We must have parked there for 15 minutes just watching these little prairie dogs do their thing and barking. They were cute as heck. So I'd say those right now are two of my absolute faves, and I'm looking forward to hitting Portland, Oregon, and hanging out in there some more. And Betty asked, why did I leave Connecticut? One of the reasons why we left Connecticut was to, you know, go and travel the country and see what's going on, and see what's up with the rest of the world, see how the other places live. You know, I've lived in Connecticut my whole life, aside from, you know, moving to Pennsylvania for a few years. And Amanda's lived in PA her whole life, and you know, so we want to see what's up with the rest of the country and go exploring. And so we took all our stuff and brought it over to her mom's place because she had a spare room where we could store everything while we were off doing this adventure. So it just worked out perfectly. And who came up with the idea for the trek, Betty also asked. And that, of course, is definitely Amanda. This dream of hers just came about after, you know, years of she was thinking she wanted to be more active, and she always wanted to travel. And you know, she always felt like she was letting her health issues hold her back, and she just finally said, screw it, I can walk, I can do what I want, I'm gonna go out there and do it now and stop waiting. So that's the whole point of the trek, is live your life now, and that's what she's doing, and I think it's freaking awesome. And I'm so happy to be here supporting her on this and seeing the country as well. It's great. And Betty also asked, do you have stiff necks, aching backs, and split bladders after sleeping in the vehicle all night? Luckily, I gotta say, I haven't had much of a stiff back. I did have a little bit of a stiff neck. Amanda definitely has a bit of a stiff neck. And swollen feet and ankles, and this is crazy. It's something I'm not used to. I mean, Amanda's getting hit with it really bad, especially because she's walking. But, you know, even myself, I notice when I get up in the morning and I go to, like, you know, scratch my leg or whatever, I'm like, oh man, you can see where, like, the sock is indenting around my ankles and stuff. Because you really, yeah, when your legs are down here, when you're sleeping, you do get a little bit of swollen ankles and swollen leg effect. So, you know, that kind of sucks, but we're making do. We're rocking on, because this trek is just too awesome. And if it means sleeping in the freaking car, we're gonna do it. And so I look forward to rocking out the next video and answering some more of your awesome freaking questions. So keep them coming, and I hope you guys are having a kick butt day. Peace.